Unsurprisingly, movies that have escape room mechanics are often split into a couple of different categories. You got grounded, or I guess technically realistic, and then there's sci-fi. I would say that most of the films that I have seen in this subgenre of film are found in the grounded area. Films like the Saw franchise are technically possible, though they are really out there. They are technically possible. They've even proven some of the traps that those films have. I would also say the same about the escape room films, but the Cube trilogy, for instance, is definitely more situated in the realm of sci-fi. Circle came out in 2015, and this is an example of a more or less sci-fi escape room film. Circle ultimately takes 50 strangers and throws them all into a dark room together, huddled in a circle, standing on red circular lights. If you step off of these lights, you die. If you touch the person next to you, you die. And sometimes, just sometimes, it just kind of seems like you die at random anyway. That is, until you realize you have the innate ability to essentially vote for the next person to die. That means that everybody in the room is tasked with deciding who should live or die, and sometimes that means it's based off of biased stereotypes, discrimination, age, etc. But the game gets incredibly more difficult as the options begin to dwindle down. Interestingly enough, the dialogue in this film was inspired by none other than 12 Angry Men, and you can tell. Lots of back and forth banter, heated discussions, emotions, and unpopular or skewed opinions, all of which kind of represent the diverse culture of our country in general, which is both a good and bad thing. The more that they face their ultimate demise, the more vocal and honestly violent they become. Case in point, the film brings up the fact that this guy's really old, so maybe he should be the next to get killed because he's probably going to be the next one to die in real life. And then there's this guy. He's a criminal. He doesn't deserve to live. To this girl is a lesbian mom. Do you really think that it's right for a little girl to be raised by two mothers? Race is also brought up because this really is a diverse group of characters. Some are racist, some are sexist, some are prejudiced and conservative, etc. There's a pregnant woman and a child in the ring as well, and the conversation is constantly brought back to them saying, if they don't kill those two, they're basically sealing their own doom, since people tend to draw the line at children. At the heart of Circle, what you have is a character study on the human psyche and little else. Apart from standing around in a circle, these people are huddled in a pitch black room, and the majority of the film really is just dialogue until the thing in front of them decides to choose the next victim to die, that is. Which means this is one of the most minimalist films that I've personally ever seen, in which it's actually pretty unique and hard to look away from. I can definitely see this as a theatrical play. It would be really easy to convert this into a stage play, which is kind of interesting. Most of the cast in this film are predominantly unknown, so I have to say that it's actually significantly strange to see one of the cast members is just randomly Julie Benz. You know her from being the wife in Dexter, as well as a pretty vital recurring role in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel series, and she's done a lot of stuff since then as well. So in my opinion, she's relatively well known, and certainly more known than any of the rest of the cast. So I kind of have to say that she was highly underused here. 90% of the movie, she's legitimately not doing anything at all other than just standing there, doing nothing on her own little red light. That's it. I mean, it's weird, don't you think? At the end of the day, it's less about how these people are going to escape with their lives intact. You come to understand pretty early on that the most likely scenario is there can only be one victor, and they're playing a little bit of Survivor by voting certain people off the island based off of their own personal preferences, regardless on how flawed those preferences can be. It's not the type of film that screams cinematography, editing, or likewise, because again, the entire thing takes place in a pitch black room. There's nothing to really see other than the faces of these people while they discuss who should die next for an hour and a half. But technically speaking, that is honestly simplifying it a little bit too much. The film serves a purpose, and for what it's worth, I appreciate what it had to say. So I'm going to be rating this movie a B letter grade. To me, that means that it was decent. It surprised me in certain areas, but at the same time, I was left wanting a little bit more here and there throughout the film. It did leave a few things open for interpretation on purpose, I suppose. But this is the type of movie where I would have preferred it not to do that, since everything else seems to be explained in vivid detail, basically. I don't know, maybe that's, just me being me. But guys, have you seen Circle? It is currently available to watch on Netflix if you have the inkling to check it out. But if you have already seen it, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. Are you a fan of escape room type films? If so, which one's your favorite? And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review for this escape room mechanics marathon that I'm trudging through. And until then, peace out!
Shadows, 50 souls awake, trapped in circles, their lives at stake. No memories linger, just fear and despair. A deadly game unfolds, a cruel affair. Get to lump off pulses, an ominous blow. Every 2 minutes of life it will bestow a loss.